How can we best work with clients who respond with, I don't know, or I'm not feeling anything when working with their parts? Get to know the parts that don't know and get to know the parts that are blocking them from feeling things. They're saying you don't always want to name them outright at first, especially in clients where this is a chronic thing. They're talking about like where this is like all over the place all the time and you're feeling like can't get through it. Like it's just this like impermeable barrier that you just can't get through. Even if you've named them in the past and asked about them in the past and you just can't get through that impermeable barrier. Talk about what it's like when you don't know things and how frustrating it is and how scary it is and how terrifying it can be when you do know things that you didn't want to know, that somebody else says you shouldn't know, that you regret now knowing. They're saying talk about all these things around I don't know. Like you can say those things from your perspective and then you can ask them what is your perspective of I don't know? What does I don't know bring up in you? So like even instead of asking how do you feel towards this I don't know part, just say what does not knowing bring up in you? What do the words I don't know bring up in you? What does it bring up in you when I say it? What does it bring up in you when you say it? What do you notice? Do you notice anything in your body? Do you notice anything, any thoughts, emotions, sensations, anything that's happening around this? What comes up in you? Okay, now they're coming to I'm not feeling anything. So they're saying, tell them it's okay if they're not feeling anything. You can also tell them it's okay if they don't know anything. Um, Tell them it's okay that sometimes they're not going to feel something and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with them. They're saying use your own discernment on whether or not you say this, but you can if it feels okay, if it feels safe and warm to do so. You can ask them, is there a part blocking this? Or if it doesn't feel safe to name that there may be a part blocking them from feeling whatever it is, you can just accept it. Mm. You're saying take the time to go in with your parts. The parts that don't like the lack of feeling, that want to know what's there that's not being felt, that wants to know what parts are in there, whether it's just to figure it out or it's to get them out of the way or it's to whatever. They're also talking about how they're saying feeling doesn't always have to happen to make headway, to make progress, to make connection. Feeling is just one point of many. It's not always required to get somewhere. It may be required to go deeper or to go further in certain ways, but it's not always required for something important to happen, something meaningful to happen, something connective to happen. We're really talking about something connective to happen. When you love and accept that lack of feeling for what it is, for how it is, and just in your own internal being, just energetically send out, even if you're not naming it to the client, you can just energetically send out like, and they're saying, when you feel this, you can do this. Um, hey, I accept you. I accept the parts blocking this. I respect the parts blocking this, and I honor the parts blocking this. And so I'm just going to leave it alone until the time that they feel like they're showing me an invisible part. Like you can barely, like you can see that it's there when it's still, but then it just kind of raised its hand and waved a little bit, and now I see that it's just barely transparent, but you couldn't really see it before when it was just still, and now it's kind of waved its hand because it's realizing it's safe to kind of start to show itself. It's hesitant, it's concerned, it's worried, it's fearful, it's scared, but it's starting to open up because you already loved it and accepted it exactly as it was. And so now it feels like it might be safe to start to come out of the woodwork, and they're showing for some of these parts it might be really subtle, really small, really slow, and the more acceptance you can have for however they present in that exact moment, and just like, that's okay if all I see is like the faintest eyeball from back way back there, and it's so faint that there's a part of me questioning if I'm making things up. Just accept that, you know? And then all of a sudden you'll see the second eye pop open, and then when you accept that, all of a sudden you see the little face come out, and now, just the momentum builds with that, they're saying, and then you're in business and you're rolling and everything's great.